fans, the 11th annual Helloween Brawl continues now with the Mid-South Championship at stake here as Big Bob Duncum challenges his rival, the reigning champion, Billy White Moon of Best of the West.
The next match is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. And it is for the RWL Mid-South Championship.
The rivalry between the Unholy Trinity and Best of the West has been at a boiling point for most of 2025, and tonight it's heating up even more, with Bob Duncum poised to try and take the Mid-South title for his side.
Duncum sees Billy White Moon as the bad guy in his story, and the Unholy Trinity is just coming off a win by Primetime Bobby Mills, so their momentum going into this match is pretty high. But I know for a fact that White Moon's whipped every single challenger that's come down the pike so far.
Myron, you put this match together. How's your feelings going to be if Big Bob Duncum winds up taking the Mid-South title from Billy White Moon?
I thought about that, and I was a little reticent, but I really had no choice. Bob Duncum was ready, he's ready to go, and the rivalry between them has got to end some way. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that all the fans here in the RWL Center in Philadelphia are 100% behind Billy White Moon, because nobody, and I mean nobody, loves the Unholy Trinity.
Well, Dutch Mantell still has an axe to grind with MJ Ferrantino in his stable, but he is setting that aside this evening so that Big Bob Duncum can get this title opportunity against Billy White Moon.
I'm sure the Trinity hasn't forgotten about the Ferrantino group, with both the Vandal brothers and the Texas Hangman, putting Primetime Bobby Mills on the disabled list for a couple of months. But I think that Dutch Mantell, who makes all the decisions for his boys, probably hates Best of the West even more. So Tex, you've got yourself the wrestling equivalent of the gunfight at the OK Corral. You've got to be just a little excited about this one. I bet it's the one time tonight that you probably won't be rooting for the Texan.
You are a very perceptive young lady, Christy.
Oh yeah, Duncum's getting quite the earful here, isn't he?
And here he is along with tag team partner Jim Dandy Deakins, the RWL Mid-South champion, the Choctaw Chopper, Billy White Moon, the son of Chief Sam White Moon, and his dad. Now working in the front office as a member of the match committee, is gonna have his eyes on this one. Like I said, White Moon has had phenomenal success with the Mid-South belt since taking it from Tito Santana. Billy's got a real hot temper, and if Bob Duncum gets him good and riled, he's gonna do what he's done to every other challenger he's faced. I'm not counting on any upsets here. I'm almost certain Billy's gonna retain the title, even with Dutch Mantell and Bobby Mills standing ringside. At least, that's what I'm hoping for.
Man, would you listen to that crowd. They are extra rowdy tonight.
The challenger, accompanied by Dutch Mantell and Primetime Bobby Mills from Houston, Texas, weighing 310 pounds, here's Big Bob Duncum.
Bob Duncum staring absolute daggers at Billy White Moon.
That looks good kill, huh?
His opponent accompanied by Jim Dandy Deakins from Norman, Oklahoma, weighing 249 pounds, the RWL Mid-South champion, Billy White Moon.
Well, Christy, I think you hit the nail right on the head when you compared this matchup to an old-style Western gunfight between a couple of old gunslingers. That's the vibe I'm getting here. The Mid-South Championship hanging in the balance one more time for Billy White Moon as referee Mike DeRosa holds up the belt. Oh man, this one's going to be a contentious matchup. Duncum's ready. White Moon's ready. We're all ready. There's the bell. And here we go. Duncum quickly countered by White Moon. White Moon countered by Duncum. Well, look at this. There's a chop across the chest. There's a chop right back from White Moon. A hard forearm. Duncum. Whip to the far left corner. Duncum quickly counters White Moon. Jumping neckbreaker from Big Bob Duncum. White Moon sweeps the leg and takes him down, delivers a kick to the back. Billy White Moon countered again by Duncum with a clothesline. Gonna be a whole lot of countering going on in this matchup. Duncum countered again by White Moon. Big time knee right to the breadbasket. There's another stomp to the midsection. Billy White Moon winds up the arms on Big Bob Duncum and throws the switch. Oh man, that hurts. White Moon with a chop across the chest. Duncum counters with an elbow. Big Bob Duncum countered again by White Moon. There's a jumping neckbreaker. White Moon rounds him up. There's a forearm to Duncum. Spins him around. Whips him into the corner one more time. Again, Duncum escapes that corner. Gets a hold of White Moon. Inverted Russian leg sweep. Slamming White Moon's face into the canvas. There's a stomp to the back from Big Bob Duncum. Followed up with a stomp to the shoulder. Big Bob Duncum drags White Moon towards center ring and goes for the first cover. One. What? Look at this. Yanked him back up. He's not done playing around. Playing with his food. Swing and a miss with the kick. Hard shot to the back from White Moon. White Moon spins him around. Whips him into the corner. He nailed him that time with the knee. Gets a hold of the ankles and an alley-oop assist out of the corner. Billy White Moon rounds up Duncum. They lock it up. They tussle. Duncum shoves him back. Gets a hold of him. Suplexes him. Much to the delight of Dutch Mantell and Primetime Bobby Mills, who just introduced a chair into the mix. Here's another cover. One. But White Moon kicks out. Here's a roll-up pin. Look at this. One. A scientific move from Big Bob Duncum. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself. White Moon back up on his feet. Duncum has him up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry. Slams him face first into the canvas, almost on that chair. Referee Mike DeRosa needs to get that out of there. A clothesline from Billy White Moon. And Primetime Bobby Mills going to insinuate himself into the situation. Distracts White Moon long enough. A back suplex from Big Bob Duncum. Almost on that steel chair again. What is with this referee? He needs to get that chair the hell out of there. Another shoulder tackle from Billy White Moon. White Moon stalking Duncum. Duncum counters with a hard right. White Moon counters with a kick. Takes him down. Right onto the chair. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg. Oh. Just a one. What is taking this referee so long to get that damn chair out of there? There's an elbow from Duncum to White Moon. White Moon counters with an arm drag. Duncum counters with a fireman's carry. There we go. Primetime Bobby Mills tried to distract the referee long enough for Duncum to use that chair, but it did not work out. Billy White Moon rounds him back up. Here we go. Winds it up for the big hard right. Duncum taken down again. As Primetime Bobby Mills takes the turnbuckle and exposes the steel. White Moon with a slap across the face of Big Bob Duncum and into the Indian sweeper. This could be the end right here, folks. But no, White Moon releases the hold. Rounds him up. Back body drop to White Moon. Right on the chair. What is with this damn referee? Get that chair the hell on out of there. DDT by Big Bob Duncum. Misses with the stomp. White Moon back up on his feet. Catches a right from Duncum. Duncum's got him up. Scoop slams him. And White Moon with a roll-up pin. 1, 2. That's as near as the near fall we've gotten so far. White Moon rounds Duncum back up, and finally that chair gets the hell on out of there. Duncum. What's this? Look at this. All three of them. And they're going to set up White Moon for a triple powerbomb. Oh, this is not good at all. Oh, man. No. Oh, hell no. Duncum goes for the pin. 1, 2. I don't believe it. White Moon kicked out Duncum, taking referee Mike DeRosa to task. Duncum countered by White Moon with an elbow. And why are Dutch Mantell and Primetime Bobby Mills still standing ringside? They should have both been ejected. Driving knee from Bob Duncum to Billy White Moon. White Moon caught from behind in a rear headlock. Duncum cinching it in, tight as he can get it. The referee checking it out. Looks like White Moon could be in trouble. Bob Duncum standing tall at the moment. Look at this, another sweet roll-up pin from White Moon. 1, 2. There's so many different ways Billy White Moon can beat you. Duncum whips him to the corner. Doesn't make it. Counters with a kick to White Moon. White Moon with a couple of shots to Duncum. Duncum counters into a dragon screw. Billy White Moon in big time trouble here after that triple powerbomb. He's got... Jim Dandy Deakins has got to be concerned. White Moon back inside the ring, gets a hold of Duncum by the trunks, has him up, slams him face first into the canvas. Here we go, there's the war dance. White Moon's mad. Duncum just made a big mistake. Forearm from Bobby Duncum. White Moon by the hair slams him down. There's a clothesline from Billy. There's a second one. Swing and a miss from Duncum and a kick right to the face from Billy White Moon. White Moon gathers him back up. Winds up the arm on Duncum. Has him up. Oh, man. Whoa. A crashing knee breaker from Billy White Moon. Dutch Mantell arguing with the referee for all he's worth. Big Bob Duncum trying to exploit the mistake here as the referee corrects that turnbuckle. Duncum hung up on the ropes by White Moon. Billy White Moon stalking Big Bob Duncum now. Duncum counters with a kick. White Moon counters the neck breaker, and another hard knee into the midsection, a kick to the chest, and a kick to the back. He's just going to kick him to death. Big Bob Duncum being dragged center ring by Billy White Moon. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. Well, there you go. Billy White Moon once again retains the Mid-South Championship by pinfall.
The time was 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Your winner and still Mid-South champion, Billy White Moon.
Well, hey, go me. I called this one just right, even with the Trinity's cheating. White Moon comes up with the win and retains the Mid-South title. Yes, Duncum succeeded in drawing some blood, but that's probably what took Billy over the edge, because he turned around and kicked the hell out of Duncum. Looks like he may actually finish the year still holding the title. Great matchup, and another big win for the Choctaw Chopper.
Yep, you got that right. Billy White Moon was definitely on the warpath this evening as far as Bob Duncum is concerned, especially after that triple powerbomb. We'll be right back with more RWL Helloween Brawl right after the break.